Hey everyone, Nate Carter here with today's Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. Listen with me to Luke chapter 17, beginning with verse 11. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give God praise except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." There's so much to gain from this scripture passage. There's so much in here. But I think about this one all the time because I think about how quickly we forget to thank God for what he's done for us. When my wife Melanie and I were young in our marriage, we had this car that just broke down all the time. I don't know how many alternators I put in that car, but we were constantly finding ourselves stranded because the battery had burned out and wouldn't start, and constantly asking people for rides. And so our neighbor, first of all, jump started us a whole bunch of times, but then also would drive me into work. And I remember they had this Volkswagen Passat, and it was beautiful. It was just like a year old. It was silver. It was nice. And I remember looking at that car and thinking, now that is a nice car. That's the car I want to have someday. And I just kind of thought it to myself. It wasn't a prayer. It wasn't anything that I even really went after. But a few years later, that car that we owned finally kicked the bucket for good, and we went out car shopping. And sure enough, we ended up buying a Volkswagen Passat. And it wasn't until a while later that I thought to myself, wow, God gave me the car that I always wanted. And here I am driving it now. It's mine. What a good God that would give such good gifts to his children. And I made the point of thanking him for that. I try to remember this scripture passage to thank God for the good things that he's given to us. Again, I didn't ask for that car. I wasn't praying about it. It wasn't given to us for free. I mean, we had to buy it, but it was just like a little something special that God had done for us. God's obviously done incredibly good things for us too. I just kind of wanted to share one of the simple little ones. But I want to give you an exercise to try, and I promise it will bless you. Take some time, your next quiet time that you have with the Lord, and don't read scripture, don't pray. Just sit down with a journal and just start writing down all the things in your life that you're thankful to God for. And just one by one, thank him for those good gifts. You'll end up with pages upon pages of things that God has done for you, and you'll realize how good he is. And I think that you'll probably realize there's a lot of things you hadn't taken the time to thank him for either. So let's not be like the 9 lepers who just walked away after getting what Jesus had given to them. Let's be like the one that turned back and gave praise to God for what he has done. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.